This is a channel dedicated to Manchester City fans. In it we spread daily news about the club. On the one hand, Manchester City could use the next 7 fixtures to get the most out of Erling Haaland before he gets a 6-week break for the World Cup. On the other, there are just 22 days between City's clash versus Brighton on Saturday, and the final Premier League fixture against Brentford before the World Cup starts. There have been suggestions from Pep Guardiola that Haaland still needs his fitness managed carefully, so there may still need to be management of his game time in the next 3 weeks. Luckily for City, there is a useful mix of winnable fixtures with more difficult ones, all spread out to allow for Haaland to be rested for the more important games. And at the same time, that opens up an opportunity for Julian Alvarez to show why City signed him and promoted him ahead of schedule to the first team. Starting against Brighton, City need to bounce back to winning ways after defeat at Liverpool, and Haaland has had a week off since then. He will surely start, and if all is going well, can be substituted before the end of the game assuming City are in control of the fixture. Then, a trip to Borussia Dortmund follows in the week where City need a point to top their Champions League group. Dortmund will qualify for the last 16 with a win, or if Sevilla and Copenhagen draw then they will qualify regardless of how they fare against City. Haaland will be keen to start at his former club, and City know their best chance of getting a result is with him leading the line. He has played 3 games in a week plenty of times already, but City know they could afford to prioritise the next 2 games, knowing a trip to struggling Leicester follows the Dortmund game. Haaland starting would be preferable, although Alvarez has shown to be a more than adequate replacement. With a, hopefully, dead rubber next up against Sevilla, Alvarez can take over from Haaland to get some deserved minutes himself, and also rest Haaland ahead of the final 3 games before the World Cup. Alvarez, of course, will be expected to head to Qatar and will be looking to play his way into form for Argentina's campaign. After the Sevilla game, City host Fulham where they would expect to win, so can again mould their team to prepare for the following Carabao Cup visit of Chelsea, where Haaland can be prioritised to start depending on his fitness levels. That gives Alvarez a chance against Fulham, whether from the start or off the bench, as well as the final game against Brentford. Averaging a goal every 93 minutes for City before the difficult job he had as lone striker in Copenhagen, with the Blues down to 10 men for an hour and barely looking to attack, Alvarez has shown he can be ready to step in whenever called upon. The coming fixtures could be perfect for unleashing him against unwitting defences, who may let their guard down without Haaland starting. Haaland can be used a little more knowing he has 6 weeks to recover from the next 3, although he surely can't play every minute. Alvarez is a useful alternative, and is also relatively untested so far at City since arriving in the summer, limited to cameos when Haaland has won the game, or starts when he hasn't been the main focus of the attack. He has only started 1 game where Haaland hasn't, and that was in Copenhagen, so City are yet to really test Alvarez on his own and he can effectively act as a secret weapon across the next 7 fixtures. What did you think of this news? Subscribe, like, share and comment. Your opinion is very important to us. Thanks a lot.